any adjustments to the agenda?
Yes, there are several actually. Number 2A will be board member recognition. And then number 8A will be smart board presentation. 8B will be nurse presentation. 8C will be consideration of litter jacket guidelines. 8D will be the 21-22 school calendar. And 8E will be consideration Fillmore roof. Several adjustments.
Your board member recognition.
Okay, as many of you know, Larry Bodor, this will be his last meeting as he's retiring as a board member. And so we want to recognize Larry. You want to step forward here, Larry? I want to recognize Larry for his years of service to South Putnam Board of Trustees.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for all that you've done for the community.
It's a pleasure.
All right, appreciate it. You want to make a speech?
I'll say this.
Yeah.
It's really been educational, and for these guys, for the people that don't know that, these guys really care about your kids. They care about South Putnam. That's a fact.
There was a request to have a roast, but I think we'll just skip that.
I've been through a lot of those. I'm pretty tough.
Well,
You swerved at the last one.
Well, I definitely want to thank you for the service you've given to the school board, the community, and then going back to the long career you had as an educator and stuff. How many people on this board were taught by Larry Baldwin? I don't know. But, so we all had him as a teacher. All had him as a teacher, and then it's great to work with him.
Thank you very much.
Late nights. We did, Les.
I still have the nerve bills in my
You won't tell yours?
100%.
Students of the month?
Okay. Each month we have 2 elementary and middle school and a high school students month that we like to recognize for their citizenship. And the first one tonight is Emma Pate, and Emma is from South Putnam Central Elementary. Emma, are you here? Come on up. I have a paper here that Joe Newton, one of your teachers, school counselor, wrote, and I'm going to read it to the audience. Okay, you want to stand right here so they can see me? It says, Emma will be represented at the board meeting. Mrs. Evans states Emma Pate is a second grade student of the month. Emma is very helpful in the classroom and works well with all students. Emma helps students who struggle in the classroom and is very patient. She helps students get on the devices and find where we are in the book. She is helpful. She is friendly and kind to all. She strives to do her best in all of her work and has made the AB honor roll. She has near perfect attendance. Emma exemplifies a good citizen and can be counted on to do the right thing at all times. She's very dependable and trustworthy. She can be counted on to help students and teachers. I know I can depend on her if I am not in the room. She is a great example to everyone at Central Elementary. So we want to congratulate Emma for being the South Putnam Central Elementary Student of the Month. Congratulations.
It looks like we have a lot of other Central Elementary students. Is this?
We're going to recognize him here in a minute. Yeah.
Okay.
And tonight from South Putnam Fillmore Elementary is Reese Ladd. Reese, are you here? L-A-T-T-A, Latta, Reese Latta. Okay, well, Reese is in Miss Brinkman's class. Reese is a second grader, and just briefly, it says Reese moved to Fillmore this year and fits in perfectly. She comes to school every day with a positive attitude. She follows directions, comes to school prepared, and displays an honest and true personality. She's well liked by her peers and exhibits a great example of how to follow school rules and character traits. I've seen Reese approach friends that need someone to play with at recess and even help students in the class that don't understand the assignment. I've enjoyed Reese's fun and caring personality and can't wait to see it continue to grow. So we want to congratulate Reese Latta for being the Fillmore Elementary Student of the Month. The South Putnam Middle School Student of the Month is Blake Witt. Are you here, Blake? Blake's not here either. Okay. Blake Witt is my selection for Student of the Month. Blake has all the makings to be successful in life as well as at school. He has a great deal of maturity and allows him to understand the importance of being prepared, being self-motivated, and having a tremendous work ethic. Blake contributes to the overall culture of the classroom by being a positive presence. I really enjoy having him in class, Mr. Turpin. I want to congratulate Blake Witt for being the South Putnam Middle School Student of the Month. And the South Putnam High School Student of the Month is Duncan York. Is Duncan here? Duncan's not here. Okay. It says, good morning. I would like to nominate Duncan York for Student of the Month. Duncan is always pushing himself to succeed on his project. He thinks creatively and is conscious of the decisions he makes in class. Always on task and ready to go, Duncan is a fantastic student. Best wishes, Ian Vassar. We want to congratulate Duncan York for being the South Putnam High School Student of the Month. And we'll just move right on if we can on the next one here before we let the kids leave. Number 4 is recognition of Central Elementary Spell Bowl. And Mrs. Gerton, are you here? And Mrs. Evans, you want to come up? The Central Elementary Spell Bowl team that both of you coached, is that correct? They came in 3rd in the state of Indiana in the Spell Bowl this year. And that is quite an accomplishment. So we'll let you guys talk about it.
We had 9 spellers. If the spellers want to come up, all the spellers that are here tonight, come on up. Sit in front. So just make a line. They want to see you. There we go. So we had 9 spellers this year, and they had to do 750 words. And we had to do it virtually this year, which was a little bit different for them. And they had 80 points, and so we had our contest on the 16th of November, and the last 2 words, one was worth 2 points, and the 7th word was worth 2, and the 8th word was worth 3 points, and so we scored 71 points out of 80, which was really great for us. And when we looked at our scores, we were 3rd in the state, and I think the last time Central was in 2000, so 20 years since we were that high. And the members of our team, which they're not all here, but we want to recognize them, are Melissa Anderson, Eliana Cox, Drexel Parton, Nevaeh Reeves, Riley Castillo, Natalie Dobson, Sophia Helton, and Molly Huber. And then we did have, do you have ribbons? Yes, I will. They'll get a participation ribbon. Mm-hmm. And this Indiana Association of Principals came a couple of weeks ago on a Friday and awarded a plaque also to the head
And their medals.
And their medals, so they all have their medals. We had them bring their medals back to show you.
We're gonna get their names engraved down here at the bottom.
To hang in the school.
That's great.
And so, out of their 750 words that were random, we did have 5 perfect spellers this year. And so, Melissa Anderson, Eliana Cox, Drexel Parton, Nevaeh Reeves, and Jackson Webster. I think I forgot Jackson's name earlier. We had 5. Yeah, we'll give them theirs tomorrow. So we did have 5 perfect spellers. So a few of them will be moving up next year to middle school. We talked to them about joining the middle school team.
We're excellent group to work with. Very proud of you.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Come tonight.
Yes.
We're always thrilled to recognize student achievement.
Yeah.
That's great, guys.
They
You
came
did a wonderful job.
twice a week to practice. Hour and a half at a time.
Lots of months.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I know this is a school night, and so if parents, if you want to get, you're more than welcome to stay for the entire meeting. We'd love to have you. But if you want to get the kids home, that's all right. Feel free to go ahead and do that this time. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Hang on.
Move up, you got to social distance that much.
And there was 3.
I'm COVID free, so moved out for 3 weeks. So. Hey, I'm immune for 90 days.
Oh, hey, I got a nurse to verify.
I'm immune for 90 days.
All right.
All right, so next up we have consideration of approval of minutes of the regular meeting from November 11th, special meeting of November 12th, and executive session of November 11th,
Move
2020.
to approve.
Anthony made a motion to approve. Celeste seconded. All those in favor? Carried. Consideration of approval of claims.
Tonight on the claims, we've got 29,401 through 29,497. We also have the payrolls for
13 and 27.
correct.
29,419.
TAG, that's the teacher appreciation grant. That money comes from the state, it comes to us, and then the part of it that goes to Area 30, we forward that on to them. We do the same thing with Old National Trail teachers also. Our portion of it.
Got a couple more nights.
I'm sorry?
We'll move that a couple more nights.
Water.
No, we.
Well, I was curious, is that a double bill by chance, Terry? 29421.
Water bill.
Jared, talk about the valve at all. What did you got?
We talked about finding the thing that was pumping out 15 gallons a minute.
Yeah, we tried to find that.
But it actually went up, even after fixing that. So.
What is it?
All right, never mind. I'm
Like I said, I
out of
had
it.
you about one.
Plead the fifth.
I'll never bring out water again.
Yeah.
So,
That's
That's your legacy.
No, she said she didn't believe it was.
Don?
Well,
The 29458, just for clarification, is that some of the funding we got for COVID?
Number?
29458.
CARES Act, yes, it is.
And the 29461 is the First Nation, is that bond or Chromebooks?
29 what?
461. 484,000.
Yeah, that's one of the bond payments, right.
Is our Chromebooks due any day now, or, our Chromebooks, when are they already in our?
They're already in. Yeah.
Ones we ordered last spring, summer.
Yes.
I'm back.
Thank you.
Northview was still waiting for theirs to come in like next week.
Some bags we were waiting to come in.
29462, right there. 29462, next one. It's station.
29462 is 5-star. Phenology Disc Station. There's several thrown together here. Under that. A Soho Central Intercept user licensing is 6,000. 11,000 is the 5-star. Oh, I'm sorry, 6,800 is light speed, and light relay is 51. That's the filtering software. It's the annual filtering software. And then the regular 5-star is included in it, and Synergy 4-bay NAS disk station, diskless, Western Digital. This is a hard drive backup. So that's all together on all of that.
How about 29488? Is that a really old bus or? Transmission work?
Reliable transmission service. Say what bus it is. Their bus number. Yeah, I'm looking to see if
I was curious, is that a warning or what?
Well, and is it the same bus that we had towed and did some work with Cummins Crossing?
I'll have to inquire and see. Yeah, there's not a bus number on it.
Anything else? 29475.
Riding business equipment, maintenance, source.
So. It's not water. It's fire. There you go.
Oh, it's janitorial supplies.
This is under business.
Well, that's what it was, so.
Bruce, the operations fund in a negative balance, can you explain that?
Yeah, because we get our payment from the county twice a year, and it comes in December, so it hadn't come in yet. And it'll be posted next month.
Speaking of that, have we got our approval from the county for that money and?
The additional appropriations? Yes.
Here's money. Here, I was trying to remember the name of it. We got extra from the county commissioner
We did have, yeah, that's right. And we'll have to submit some things for that.
So they just approved it, we don't have all the stuff that we asked for in and paid for to submit to them for them to pay us back.
That sounds right.
And we ordered.
We've never got a definitive dollar amount yet.
So it hasn't been approved.
Not yet, it's still in
Right, so
process.
we weren't gonna order anything that we didn't have a definitive dollar amount to, that therefore be stuck with a bill, you know, order 10,000, oh, well, I'm gonna give you 2.
Didn't they have a deadline there was one?
They've already appropriated, from my understanding.
Yeah, so I suspect that'll move forward here pretty soon.
Anything else, anything else? No, I'll make a motion to clear claims 29401 through 29497, along with payrolls for 1113 and 1127.
Second.
Let's make a motion to approve claims and payroll. Larry seconded. All those in favor? Consideration of personnel report.
On the personnel report, under resignations classified, Catherine McDougall, Central IA, and on ECA, Dorothy Hoffman, Middle High School Academic Coach in Social Studies. For new hires, certified Thomas, Levi, say the last name.
Prisvilla.
Thomas Prisvilla, it's high school special education.
Yeah, that's a late ad.
It's a late ad.
Sorry.
What's that position?
Special education, middle school.
Instructional assistant?
No, teacher, special ed teacher. Thomas Prisvilla, P-R-Z-Y-B-Y-L-A. Special education teacher, middle school.
And then Caitlin Hicks, temporary contract beginning January 4th at Central. Quinn Albright, Central, beginning 1/4/21. Classifieds, Victoria Craddock, Middle High School IA. Maggie Boyce, Central IA. Kayla West, Fillmore IA. And on ECA, new hire Leah Henry, Middle High School Academic Coach in Social Studies.
That's what I'm gonna ask, what are the two central positions?
This isn't on there.
Are they replacements or?
Yes. Or there's some replacements from some that had left earlier and he was never able to fill them. So they've been working on trying to fill them.
So what's the position of the building?
I'll get you that information and send it to you. I can't repeat it off the top of my head, but I will.
Yours is a replacement?
I will have that person transferring, moving to O&T. But I didn't know until just 10 minutes ago whether or not that person accepted. We'll have the resignation next month. I didn't want to resign a position until we were able to fill a position because of the transfer. Yeah, Mrs. Hoffman. So she's going to be leading the middle schools classroom down in Cloverdale, the elementary life skills program.
Make a motion to approve.
I assume she hasn't resigned.
She has not. Yeah, because we didn't have a person to fill the spot. I didn't want to have an open spot.
Wes made a motion to approve the personnel report. Ian seconded. All those in favor? Consideration of year-end transfers.
Okay, every year this is an annual process where we transfer appropriations across various accounts within a fund, balance them for the end of the year. I don't anticipate a transfer from any funds in rainy day. This is a year-end process, and after we complete this, then in January, I'll bring you a report on where all of the appropriations were transferred into the subcategories in each fund. So I just need permission to make the year-end inter and intra-fund transfers.
So,
Made a motion to approve the year-end inter and intra. Anthony seconded. All those in favor? 8A, Tammy from 5 Star.
We started back in 2018 doing the replacement for the interactive boards for the staff members. When we started, we had 72 boards that were older Promethean or smart boards. Through the cycle, we've replaced 30, and I came to the board each time and requested 5 at a time. So the tech department goes around and rates the boards from the lights, if the bulb, sometimes during the classroom, they have to turn off half the lights just to see the board. So that would be, top priority. If we can get a bulb in place and put it in there, then that one can limp along a little bit more. So tonight I'm asking we have about 40 left to replace. I'm asking for 5 more, 2 to go to Fillmore, 2 to Central, and 1 at the high school and middle school.
What's the cost per board?
They are, the high school, middle school, we are staying with Clever Touches because through the Lilly grant, we did the signage, digital signage. They're a little bit more expensive. They're about $3,000 per board. The elementary schools, we've moved to the ViewSonics. They have the same features, but they don't have the Clever Touch software that can do the signage on them. So, and they're cheaper, and they're about $2,500 per board.
Those smart boards are coming down. I know the first ones that we installed, they were 5,000 something,
Yeah.
almost 6.
Right.
And like a lot of technology, it's coming down in price.
So explain to me why we need signage in the classroom.
So through the Lilly grant that we got, was that 2 years ago, 2 school years ago? Mrs. Gardner and I worked on where we did the TVs in the hallway, and so with the Clever Touches, with the Clever brand, we have this special software where if we were hosting an event, we could put like Google Slide on each classroom and display it on all the Clever Touches at one time. Or we could pick like a group, there's 5 here, and we want them to look at this presentation, 5 here. So it's just the program that ties into that. And so that's why I want to stay with the Clever Touches at the high school, middle school, because we've already made that investment, and that's a good program to continue.
So they're all same type.
They're the same type, and that digital signage part is just really, we worked really hard to get that piece, and so it makes sense to carry on with that.
So we got 40 that have not been.
That's correct.
And we're just replacing 5 this year. So the other 35 what are their ratings?
So we are rating, 2 got bumped this last 2 weeks, to be really honest, because 2 failed on us last 2 weeks. So the other ratings are sticking around a 3, which is mid. So some of the classrooms at the elementary, we are still replacing bulbs. They are still about $200 to $300.
New one, how long will it be until we have to replace the bulb?
We get a new bulb.
No, I'm saying how long?
With the boards, that's why one of the bonuses of going with the interactive boards, they do not require the bulbs.
So we replace about a bulb a year? a lot of these?
But some bulbs, I mean, and to be quite candid, sometimes the projector has been up there for so long, we go to replace that bulb, and it's like we knock the last piece of dirt loose, and then the whole projector blows out.
That's one reason why we started the cycle, was to start eliminating some of these lower costs, to get away from that.
Where do we pay for this?
Tech budget. It's, out of operations.
And when we first started, we were paying the company to come in and do the installation. Through, I think, the second or maybe the third round, we took on the installation along with the maintenance. So that is a cost saving as well, because the installation was another $1,500 on top of it.
We've had a year or two where we've done more than 5.
Yeah, I usually come per semester and do 5 at a time. So last summer you approved them that came up that were put in August. Because it's been a unique school year, it just did not float to the top as far as priority.
You know, we talked about trying to get into this rotation, we might have some, like you said, jumped ahead.
Yes.
Well, that's where I was kind of getting to. I'm wondering if we can afford it, can we double that? I just assumed if we're replacing these light bulbs like this, I mean, I just really, if we have 40 that needs replaced and we're only having a request to replace 5.
She can certainly get the lineup on them and do some more here later this spring if you want to pursue that.
Well, yeah, I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Do you get a discount if you buy more?
We do not. No.
I think if
She can go back and take a look at it, see what our next priority is.
If we can look at whatever we're doing, just to.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just piecemealing this together with 5.
We're a lot better off from where we started.
Sure.
But yes, we still have like those surprises that blew last week, and then the teachers are dealing with so much this year, and having to change their lessons because of the board is really. And I have the list of the priorities. I can send it to Mr. Bernhardt.
We'll go through and review some of that.
And then because we have a grading, like I said, and so I can send that to Mr. Bernhardt, and then I'd be willing to. I can get you another 4 or 5 really quickly if that's what you're asking.
I move to go ahead and buy the 5, and then investigate the opportunities to purchase more if we have the funds.
Second.
Rick made a motion to approve the smart board sport purchase. Larry seconded. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Yeah, Tammy, if you would send us that, because we're not getting, since we made our changes, the updates like we were every year.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be good if we did.
Yeah, and any of those updates I can get you, but I'll get you that for sure.
Hey, Bethany, Levi, you going to talk first?
Well, no, because I don't have much knowledge. But so first of all, we'll give a giant shout out to Ms. Combs and Ms. Hutchison, as they have done a fantastic job this year. So the great part is when you get to hire good people, you hire the best you can find, and that was no different with our nurses. And so we're very fortunate to have Bethany as our corporation nurse and Amanda in our elementaries, and trying to get better all the time. And so Bethany approached me about moving to school care, and I'll let her explain that. But just a tool they can use to help them do their jobs more efficiently and effectively. And I appreciate them kind of going out on their own and trying to find ways to get better. And so, but I'll let her share that. And there you go.
And by the way, I can't do my job without them, because they are the best. School care is formerly known as Care Docs. They're in transition to change their name. It is an electronic health record, so it would be separate from Harmony. And it is what it is. It's documentation specifically for students I can open a student chart and find everything in one place. Right now with Harmony, I have to fish for things, look around for things, and it makes it super difficult for anyone else who's related for me or office staff if I'm away, at lunch or tending to other students, to find things or to help. So, also one big thing that we have is paper here, and we have lack of storage. We have to keep paper for a really long time, and I ran out of space. So what this offers me is a safety tool. It allows me to document all medication in real time in their chart, call it their chart. Instead of having to do a lot of paper documentation, it allows for parents to speak to me through this system. They can send in notes to state the student's needs with the medication, how they're supposed to take it, which is going to be in those papers that I have to hold on to for many years. It allows for reporting tools, so very quick reports that I could pull for anybody at any time, and it is free. It is completely free. Brownsburg School Corporation uses it, Avon School Corporation uses it, and Plainfield is moving to this system on January 1st. I've had the pleasure of working with the school nurse director from Hendricks for most of the Hendricks school. She loves this system. The only downside she's had with this system is the communication with CHIRP, which has been a CHIRP issue, not the school care issue. And we're actually having that same problem with Harmony. So I have to hand enter all immunizations. Huge barrier. So she's given me some insight to how to work around that when we're able to do this integration. It's free, but Levi wanted me to talk to you guys about this. It's a big safety tool. That's big for us. For IT, it's about an hour to 2 hours of work, so it doesn't put a burden on them. This company does pretty much all the work, and it will allow all admin to use the system. They can access it for the students. It's kind of a one-way conversation between Harmony and CareDocs, except for immunization, it's supposed to go back and forth. It's a 3-year contract. If we decide to not continue the contract, they will provide us all the archives electronically that we can hold on to, so we won't lose all of that information.
So this works in conjunction with Harmony?
They talk. They just talk back and forth, talk. I don't know what the technical term is for that. Right, yeah, they're two totally separate entities, but it's like a lot of programs that we'll use that will talk back and forth. They'll sync up, whether it's once every 24 or 48 hours, whatever, as far as that.
What about security? Seems like there's privileged information.
Okay, so you and Amanda will have access, the building principals.
Yeah, admin, secretaries. So anyone that would need to utilize the resource would have access and be trained.
Which is no different than what it is right now.
Because we can get into an absolute nightmare there.
Yes, this is HIPAA compliant. I gave this to you, so you have the information. It's not just used in Indiana, it's used nationwide. So I think there's over 2,000 schools that use this.
Do they say how they monetize? They're giving this to us free, so I'm curious how they exist.
Yeah, so, okay, it does talk about that, because I was very curious about that. And Brownsburg's been using this for many years, and it's been free the whole time, so I want to get the right verbiage here, what they call it.
What health services do they provide?
So that's part of the free service, or that's why this service becomes free, because what they offer is a service to our Medicaid population, so that's where they kind of get, money back.
Mental health consults and
all kinds of Medicaid services, and it's not required. So we can offer it out to our Medicaid students' parents to use these resources, or if I see a student in need and have a referral, like they're not getting to their appointments, they can't get their medication, any type of referral that I feel like they need, I can make a referral to their parents, and it's completely optional. They can agree or not agree, but that doesn't change the terms of free for this program. But that's how he, in vague terms, explained how they recoup money.
So it potentially provides our students with access to services they maybe wouldn't have.
Yes. It's called the Care Coordination Program. So it's a dual.
They're using this as a way for acquisition cost of new clients, basically. But that's not our primary purpose.
And that's not their promotion either.
When are you looking to implement this?
I didn't specifically have a time frame. We met on December 2nd, and I thought it was going to be a little more of a lengthy process, but it's really like 6 to 7 hours, which is not much at all. So I don't have a specific time frame. We're super COVID heavy, so to ask Amanda and everyone to go to a 90-minute training even is a lot. So I was okay with next school year to implement this. But the guy I've been speaking to, Cam, through this company, he says we can do it whenever we wanted to. It's pretty streamlined. They do all the work, but the bigger barrier is to get us training. So
this would, for instance, if Larry was an 8th grader and had a nosebleed, you'd put that in here and then push to the parents. I just looked on the last page. It says, then the parents can go back over the last 30 days and see any medical events.
it can add anything in real time. And so that's different than Harmony, because once those sections close, they close. You can't add unless they call or email me. They'll see daily reports from their students. So if I have frequent flyers, the parents will see those, and so they can question, they can ask me, or they can just go on to there. It's really, really, really great for your chronic illnesses, which we don't have a ton here right now, but we do.
Or do you need a motion to approve?
I don't think so, since there's no cost involved with it. I think just general consensus for her to move forward on it's all that we need.
Okay. Thank you guys for your time.
We have 8C, letters, jacket, guidelines.
So, I'm sure you guys, just a quick recommendation, just to change our letter jacket policy here at the high school. I know it was changed a couple years ago, with the intent that it was gonna be, just easier for our kids to get a jacket, in their high school career, so you didn't wait until your senior year to get a jacket sometimes, or, maybe the end of your junior year, and then why am I buying a jacket for 1 year? So recommendation would be just to move from our current system to just a one letter. The student buys their own letter jacket, obviously. So from a cost factor, it doesn't cost the school any additional money or anything like that. But I think it's great from a school spirit standpoint when our kids go to away ball games, or they come to their own games here at home, and kids have letter jackets. I think it's great. It's interesting. I've never been to a school that it was called the letters or the multiple letters jacket. Everybody just calls it the letter jacket, but then everybody's got these weird rules. It also, I think, gets us in line with a lot of other schools that are making this available. It's a kid-friendly policy, and I like kid-friendly stuff, so that would be the recommendation.
Anthony made a motion to approve the new letter jacket guidelines. Craig seconded. All those in favor? School calendar.
Okay, we have a proposed school calendar for 21-22 school year. On this calendar, the first student day would be August 11, which is a Tuesday. Fall break is October 11 through 15. Thanksgiving is 24 through 26 in November. Christmas break would be Monday the 20th of December through Friday the 31st. In January, the first student day back would be on January 4. January 3rd would be a teacher day only. The spring break is 21 through 25 of March, and the final student day in May, the end of the semester, would be May 25th, with graduation on Saturday, May 28th.
of curiosity, this lists May 31st as Memorial Day. That's not correct, is it? Is it always on a Monday? The 31st is a.
Yeah, that's a misprint. Sorry.
I just want to print something.
I'll change that on the one that has it.
Just out of curiosity, why do we have one scheduled e-learning day? Was that just to give a day off in February?
No, it's still counted as a day, but with MLK is a day off in January, and then in February, the President's Day, we're just scheduling it as an e-learning day rather than being in school.
To give them a break every month.
Uh-huh.
Not in April.
But it counts as a day. Yeah, rather than putting it in April.
There has been
Like
discussion.
we've done in the past.
There has been discussion with the teachers on this.
Discussed this with the CTA, shared with administrators, and also discussed with county superintendents. Cloverdale, North Putnam, and South Putnam are fairly close, a day here or there. Greencastle's, I believe, going to start the week ahead of than this one is.
Note needs to be made that we're not taking Friday before spring break off, so everyone that's going to leave on Thursday is going to be missing 2 days of school.
That's correct.
Second.
Anthony made a motion to approve the calendar for 21-22. Larry seconded. All those in favor? No more routes.
Okay, Jared Hutchison, our maintenance director, has gathered several bids for replacement of the shingled roof at Fillmore, and actually he had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They ranged for various qualities of roofs from $98,130 all the way up to $167,500, and his recommendation was for CRG Construction for a Owens Corning Duration Flex roof, which is their best line roof, at a cost of $120,920.
The reason why we're going with that mid-range bid is because it's a better grade shingle.
It's a better grade of shingle, yes. It's the lower priced one for the best grade of shingle.
Yeah, we're a year and a half past already doing something we should already done.
Right.
Make a motion approved.
Second.
Luke made a motion to approve PRG's bid of $120,920. Craig seconded. All those in favor?
You might add that they're contingent on getting supplies in. They're gonna start on that as soon as possible, as weather temperature.
Temperature, yeah. That's correct.
They're talking possibly by the end of the year.
Yes. Calendar year. Yes.
Our next meeting of January 13th of 2021.
Okay, we will be in here on January 13th at 7 o'clock in the Learning Center. At the January meeting, among other items that we take care of for the beginning of the year, we'll adopt the full calendar of board meetings. But we just want to announce that the first one in January will be on the 13th at 7 p.m. in this room. Okay, as everyone should know, Christmas break will start at the end of Friday. Friday is our last day of school, December 21st, and students will return on January 5th. So we hope that everybody has a great holiday, good Christmas break, and we're looking forward to getting a second semester started very soon.
Audience, questions, concerns? Meeting adjourned.
My understanding was sometime today during lunch that Claude and Cindy and Mr. Yole had to do a scavenger hunt for a retainer.
I believe there's a picture of that somewhere floating.
There is.
Thanks
All three of them,
It's
that
put
was
them
like
on the
above
internet.
and beyond.
You almost go deep into the.
No, I was just thanking anybody who's dumpster diving for a kid that's free paying, that's all.
Right.